Hello ratbags, it's Jade with another grounded video. Today I'm going to be previewing all the weapons and tools that are available in a demo that was available. Now I can still play the demo, you can still start it up if you downloaded it while it was on the Steam. You can't do this if you're on Xbox, unfortunately, so pretty much everyone else is going to have to wait until the 28th. But I have used some cheats and I have managed to set up a nice little display of all the items that I could find and craft. Now I have had to do some dog work though. It's taken me nearly 3 hours to go around and kill all of the bugs, as I can't find any cheats to spawn in the actual items themselves. So all of this was made legit, but I did have to go and actually find some of the stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go preview. Some of this may change. Don't want spoilers, maybe wait until the 28th. Some of these tools and items might not end up being in the game when it launches in early access on the 28th of July on Xbox and Steam, and there may even be more. So yeah, don't blame me if it's a bit different. But let's take a little preview of what to expect. Really appreciate the likes on this, guys, for the best in survival games and open world stuff. Make sure you subscribe and you've got notifications turned on. Let's go. So the Pebble Axe, pretty much one of the first starting tools you're going to craft. 2 pebblets, 3 sprigs and 1 woven fibre. You can see it does just about 2 damage, maybe 2.5 stun, and its speed is about, I would say, 3.5. You go ahead and use it to chop normal and dry grass, and it should give you some nice chunks, and it's pretty good or decent as a defense tool as well. Next up, the humble pebblet spear. 2 sprigs, 3 plant fibres and 1 pebblet. Again, damage just nearly 2, about 1.5 stun, but it's a lot quicker to use, so you will be able to do quite a substantial more amount of damage, just making sure you've got enough stamina, because it does drain pretty quickly. And if you're really good at aiming, it's not bad, obviously, to do that final bit of damage, and you can pick the spear up occasionally when it doesn't glitch out like this. Next up, a tool that is really useful. 3 sprigs, 4 pebblets, 1 woven fibre. It is the pebblet hammer. Just over 3 damage, nearly I think 7 stun and only 1 speed. It's pretty slow, but I actually prefer using this as my go-to attack weapon before the early stages where I'm just running around with only pebbles. What you'll be really using it for though is getting yourself big bunches of sap, maybe not forgetting acorns, as well as just regular stone, the big pebbles, and of course quartzite, something you'll find in a lot of caves. And maybe possibly using it to stun creatures so you can move in with maybe a faster paced weapon, or just to hit them enough so you can run away from some of the spiders. So them 3 are pretty much the basics. After that, we're going to be looking at stuff that you're going to need more components, like the shovel, which you can use to dig up grubs, although I have learned that you can use a lot of sharp tools or weapons to dig up grubs as well. It just takes longer. But for the shovel, you're going to need a piece of acorn shell, 1 fibre woven and 2 sprigs. Now you can use it as a weapon, but it only does 1 damage and 1 quick speed. It's got a bit of stun about it though, so it's definitely something you don't really want to be using as a weapon, just maybe to dig up the grubs, and of course also to get clay. Next up, you've got the lava blade, which you can actually find on the map in the game. I'm not going to tell you now. Go and check out the Let's Play video if you want to see it, or you can go ahead and craft it once you get some of the resources. But one of them resources is going to be pretty hard, which is the lava pieces, so you're going to need to kill them white little ants first. You'll also notice it doubles up as an axe. It can chop dry grass and normal grass, and it actually does a really good job. So you could literally rush to get this when you first spawn, and it will help you out massively. 3 damage, 1 stun and around 7 speed. It also does poison damage over time. You'll need 2 lava spikes, 3 grub hide and 1 acid gland that you can normally get from lava ants, and possibly other creatures too. The best weapon you're going to be able to get super easy on, if it's still there when the game launches, and you can find it like the sword in the stone. Next up, we've got the Spiky Sprig, and this is again a really good one. You're going to need 3 sprigs, 5 thistle needles that you get from the thistle plant, and 2 woven fibre. 4 damage, 7 stun and 4 speed. It's a good, great little weapon. I won't go through things like a torch. You know what a torch does, and it doesn't actually work as a weapon. It goes in your weak hand, so you can't actually use it as a weapon. What we do have is an ant boxing glove. You're going to need 3 ant parts and 3 mite fuzz, obviously from killing mites. It doesn't do much damage, only about 1.5, but the stun is pretty big. I think that's like nearly 7, and the speed is pretty good as well. It's about 6. So yeah, get 2 of these on you, and you could certainly maybe cause a bit of quick, fast stun action. Here I go against a spider or 2. Obviously I've got cheats on, so they can't do any damage, but you can see you can quickly knock one down and knock it out with a few punches. And here it is in action against the Bombardier Beetle. You can see it's quickly taking a lot of health down. So yeah, if you can get it stunned and keep smashing away at it, it's definitely a viable option, but probably still not one of the best weapons. Next up, we've got something called the Leaf Blower. I don't really know what this does. It obviously doesn't do any damage or stamina or stun speed, and the speed of it's pretty good. It seems it is just for blowing stuff out the way. Maybe you can use it against the stink bug. Maybe it's good to get rid of the gas from a bombardier. I'm not too sure, but you need 1 clover leaf and 2 woven fibre, and yeah, you can just flap it about. So next up we got a repair tool. Now this means you can repair items while you're exploring, and I do believe you find a crafting bench later on that you'll be able to repair items at as well. 3 woven fibre, 2 sprigs and 1 quartzite, so you're going to need a hammer to get the quartzite first. Now there's a few more things in the tier 1 that you can make basically without a crafting bench, like ammo for your bows, but I'm going to show you that at the end of this video when we get to some of the range stuff. Although there are a few things that I couldn't craft or make, including the harpoon bolts and decoy baits. It looks like they use some water type creature, so I'm guessing that's not going to be there when it launches in early access. The last thing though I will show you is the leaf spotting scope. I couldn't get this to work. It needs a canteen, 3 pieces of clover leaf and 1 sap. I don't know if it's meant to be just used underwater. I'm not too sure. It just says the power of water. I was expecting it to be some sort of spyglass. When it's crafted, it just looks like a canteen as well. And one thing I won't be showing you is the bomb or the ant bomb confuser, or the bomb ant confuser, because I didn't craft them or make any of them ones, but I will show that in a separate video. And more details with the bow and arrows, as I found quite a lot of the arrows just weren't working correctly just yet. So next up, tier 2, and the first one is the insect axe. 1 ladybug head, 3 bombardier parts and 4 spider silk. This one's pretty much more durable than the original basic axe. It does nearly 4 damage, does 7 stun and has nearly 4 speed as well. Then we've got the tier 2 upgrade for the insect hammer or the hammer. You're going to need 4 stink bug parts, 4 berry levers which you obviously get from the blueberries, and 1 boiling gland which you get from bombardier as well. 5 damage, 9 stun, but only 1 speed. So this is going to be even better if you want to knock out some creatures and try and take care of them that way. Here I'm using it to finish off this spider. You can see it's doing a hell of a lot of damage. So it really will be nice and easy to use this on big creatures like these. You can see also it only takes 2 swings and you can demolish a big pebble. But what is it like when you take it to the box of mints? A big shout out to everyone that told me you could actually get inside this box of mints. I was saying in one of my Let's Plays that it seems a bit useless. It'd be cool if you could get in there and get the sweets to make some recipes, and you can use it to make the mint hammer. Now when I was hitting this, I fully expected it to maybe break in 1 or 2 hits, but I kid you not, I must have swung at this around 20 times and nothing was happening. So in the end I had to use a cheat where you can kill creatures or kill things in front of you, or it does damage anyway, and you can set the damage to a massive number. So I ended up setting it to something like 5,000 and it done the job, and I got some mint chunks from it. I presume when it's fully out in early access this will change and we'll be able to get the mints a lot easier, or maybe it really is meant to be that way. Maybe you are meant to just mine at it for like 5 minutes, I'm not sure. I ended up gathering like 30 pieces of mint which you can eat, and it does look like they heal you up and give you food, obviously not any water. Now some of these I didn't actually take time to go and try them out because the game crashed on me, but I did craft them all, as you can see them all on display. But this one you can see it does maximum damage, maximum stun, and it's nearly what, 4 speed. It's technically a tier 3 mint mallet, so I don't think we're going to be seeing this in early access when it launches. I think this will be an update much further on. Definitely going to be something a bit harder, but 1 mint chunk, 3 spider silk and 4 flower petals when it does arrive. Also it's a 2-handed weapon, so you won't be able to carry a torch while you're using this, or any type of shield. Another weapon we won't be experiencing for a while I don't think is the stinger spear, as it needs 5 bee fuzz, a bee stinger and 4 spider silk. So again, I've never seen these in the game, and I have managed to get hold of a stuffed bee, but when I tried breaking it down or moving it about, it actually crashed the game. So yeah, I don't expect to see this on the early access release. It'll be something added in much later. It's got 3 and a bit damage, and then it's got what, 6 stun and then nearly 7 speed. But a lot of this could change, so I'm not going to concentrate too much on it until we can actually get the weapons. So don't forget, I will do proper guides on all of this. Now I say I haven't actually tested out a bomb before, but I did manage to craft one in a live stream, but it was pretty useless when I threw it as I chucked it in a anthill. I'm sure it does a fair amount of damage though, but you can see there, I couldn't really see exactly how much it did to that ant as it was quite far away from it. But you will need 2 fungal growth, 1 ant egg, and 4 dry grass. Just like the stinger, I can't show you the berry skin fist wraps as it needs berry leather, which is okay, but it needs 3 bee fuzz. But it seems here it does do what, 2 damage and 9 stun and around 4 speed. Then you've got armor glue and super armor glue, so this is to basically put together your armor pieces again. I'm really pleased they've added that, which means you won't have to go and kill a bunch of creatures again. As long as you've got the glue around, you'll be able to repair your stuff back together when the durability's gone to 0. 3 Might Fuzz, 2 sap and 1 woven fibre for the basic stuff. And then for the super armor glue, you're going to need 1 berry leather and 4 spider silk. And that's looking likely to repair all tier 2 armor pieces. Not to be confused with the repair hammer, it's the ant club. You're going to need 4 ant parts, 2 woven fibre and 2 ant mandibles, and you get the mandibles from defeating the soldier ants. Yeah, it's what, 6 damage nearly, and then it's got full stun though, 9 stun, that's pretty good, and then it's got 4 speed nearly. So yeah, that's pretty decent. After that we've got the Weevil Shield. This seems to be not working very well when I tried it out, but you're going to need 4 weevil meat, 2 woven fibre and 2 grub hides. The raw weevil meat was actually quite hard to get hold of. I spent ages running around. Remember, I can only cheat certain things in. Some of these items I have to go and kill the insects myself. But yeah, you can't actually move the shield around that much. I tried tapping the LT button, which I thought that would do it, but it just kind of sits there like an extra protection piece. So that is my nice little display here of some of the weapons from tier 1, 2 and 3. Don't worry, still got a few to show you, which is going to be the bow and the arrows, but I'm going to do that in a separate video, and I'm going to try and showcase the bomb a little bit better, as well as maybe the ant confuser bomb. Just finishing off with the last few now, and we've got the Spiderfang Dagger. It isn't that great. Like, the damage on it is nearly 2, not quite. The stun on it is 2.5, just over 2, and then the speed is nearly 7. It does do poison damage, of course, but I found it ran out really quickly. The durability on it just wasn't great at all. Also, unlike the larvae blade, it doesn't act as a axe. You can't chop grass with it either. So I used it here. This is when I realised you don't need a shovel unless it's maybe only with certain weapons. You can pretty much use any tool, any weapon to dig grubs out, but shovels do it a bit quicker. But yeah, I wasn't impressed. The effort it takes to maybe get the dagger from getting a piece from a spider wolf, it just doesn't last long enough. Right, we're deep in spider territory now. I couldn't make any of these stuff because it obviously relies on lots of insects we don't have in the game just yet, and it is massive spoilers for what's coming. But obviously there is going to be a mosquito, and there is going to be a tier 3 item with it. It's called Mosquito Needle. You're going to need 1 mosquito beak, 3 spider silk and 1 mosquito blood sac. It does 2 damage, 3, 4 and a bit stun and 7 speed. It's pretty obvious they've not finished making this yet because the textures on it aren't very good, and if that is what it looks like, I'll be very surprised. But yeah, that's it at the moment. Next we've got the Firefly Lantern, 3 bioluminescent goop and 1 mosquito blood sac, and you'll be able to basically make a Firefly Lantern. It's not a weapon, but it does look like obviously it's going to be a much better torch, and it does of course confirm that fireflies are going to be in the game. Then we've got Diving Knife, which is 1 pebblet, 2 woven fibre and strider legs. This is one of the water creatures. I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of water bug. 3 damage nearly, 7 stun and nearly 4 speed. More interestingly is the fact that it says you're going to use it to harvest aquatic flora. So it's a special weapon that you're going to use. You might not be able to use any of the other stuff underwater, only this one. Next up we've got the Bone Diving Knife, which does nearly 2 damage, 7 stun and nearly 3 speed. I have found a skeleton of a creature underground, but I do believe it is fish bones you're going to need for this. So I'm really excited about where the future of the game is going to go if we're going to spend so much time underwater, because we also have the harpoon gun. I showed you the harpoon bolts, but this is 2 sprigs, 1 leech sack, so another creature confirmed, leeches, 1 tadpole slime, more creatures confirmed, and 2 strider legs. The damage is nearly 6, and the speed is going to be 7 nearly, and the stun damage is pretty 0, like zilch. It's only a tier 1 item though, so we've just got to wait for these creatures to come in, and we'll be able to make this fairly early on. It comes with different ammo upgrades. You've got Venom Harpoon Bolt, which is going to be 1 strider leg and 1 spider venom. The bone version, 1 strider leg, 1 bone. And then we've got a trident. This is 3 bone, 1 sprig, 3 woven spider. Yeah, it looks amazing. Looks like you're going to be fighting underwater with this one, a bone trident. Nearly 8 damage, about 7.5. Full stun, so 9. And then it's got nearly 7 speed. Again, it says here it's only tier 1, but that seems pretty OP for me. And finally, out of all of that lot is the underwater lantern, although I will show you briefly the ammo for the just the regular bow as well. But you're going to need Bilunce and Goop and lily pad membrane, so 4 of them as well. And it looks like you'll be able to put this around or carry it to use underwater. So yeah, as I said, the insect bow is the last thing. 2 spider chunks, 2 spider fangs, 2 spider silk. It does, what, nearly 5 damage. I'm finding it hard to read because it goes up to 9, I do believe, the points, rather than 10. I don't know why it's just not 10, unless you start at 1. But that's the way I've read it, is that obviously the first bar is 0, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anywho, for me, it does nearly 5 damage. It does 6 stun and 4 speed nearly. It was very buggy using this with the various different ammos. Some of them didn't work necessarily, and it didn't seem to work sometimes when you had multiple different types of ammo in your inventory. It would only load 1 up at a time. I couldn't find a way to choose what ammo I wanted either, to place it in what bow. So like I said, I will revisit bows and ammo. It might have been just me mucking around, or maybe it was only one type of ammo that wasn't working. Maybe all of them were working. The normal bow was working. You can see me firing off just regular arrows here. And you've got various different ammo. So you've got like the toxic ammo, which kind of worked. And then you've also, looks of things, gonna have a lure ammo as well to lure insects close to you. Oh, and that is it. That is every weapon, every tool that I could find, or at least show you guys some part of it. Hopefully some of this stuff will be there for launch. But like I said, I'm only expecting tier 1 and 2. That's what they've put in their Q&A in Discord. So this tier 3 stuff we may not see for a few months. But it's exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to Grounded. Hope you guys are too. Don't forget to like and make sure you subscribe for the best news, guides and tutorials for Grounded. And I'll see you guys for another video very soon.